Real Peace, brought to you by Kwabi&thePeaceCampaign, is a podcast dedicated to discovering ways in which everyday people can learn about community, seek understanding of self and others, and gain tolerance on opinions they might not agree with. How do we learn to live together? How do we learn to love each other? These questions and much, much more we'll attempt to answer only on Real Peace. I'm Kwabi and I'm your host, and I'm a peace campaigner. And behind the camera is our producer, Kevin Wolford. Without him, none of this would be possible. And today, I got my good friend, Joe Moore, on the show, who is an aspiring actor and has lived in LA for a year and some change.
How's
it going?
It's going good, man. What up, Kwab?
Nothing much, man. Just kicking it, doing the podcast, man. You already know. You're on the show because you wanted to talk about family, family values, also about community.
For sure.
And I also wanted to talk about what it takes to be a good friend. And so I thought we could just hash it out, man.
Let's hash it out, bro.
Sounds good, man. Yeah. My first question is, what do you believe are good, strong, concrete family values?
Yeah, great question. So I would say it starts with, like, being nice is very basic, but a very good, solid, and concrete family value, right?
I'd say so, too.
Being nice.
Yeah.
Because that, when Apple was on, she talked about how everything kind of starts at the kid level.
Yeah, Apple Leela Evans, yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
And that's true, because your kids learn from you, from your example, from your teaching, and yada, yada.
Yeah.
If you're not teaching them to be nice, like, oh, man,
that's
that's super
true.
messed up, right? But that's just one of, like, the basic cores. It's very simple. Everybody can be nice, unless you're the Grinch, which is a fictional character who is not nice. But nobody's like that. So I think that is a very basic one, and from that stems a lot of things.
Okay.
Social interaction, like, you get friends because you're nice, right? And that gets, that leads to this and to that and to the other thing.
Yeah.
I think just knowing, like, that family comes first is another one too. Like, if you want to have a family but you're not putting your family first, you should really rethink if a family is, like, starting a family is for you. Because family's got to come first, always, right? Like, you should, that should be a very easy staple.
Yeah. And and even, like, your friends can become your family. You had talked before we started the show. You talked about your friends and implementing them into your own family.
Yeah. Because everybody, like, I mean, well, there's a typical family dynamic, which is the ideal family, but not all of us have that experience, myself included. Like, it's kind of a hodgepodge. It's a little different. It's it's a little messy. It's whatever. And a lot of people, maybe they didn't grow up with their parents. Maybe they didn't grow up with both of them or one of them. Maybe they're raised by an uncle or an aunt or somebody in like foster care or something like that. So your friends can definitely be your family. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great because, again, not everybody has those relationships that are healthy, that are good when they're growing up. But being able to kind of choose the people who you're going to make your family. If you have, like, a mentor figure who cares about you,
gotcha.
Wants the best for you, like, make that guy or lady your family.
I agree. I agree most definitely. You had talked about love a little bit. So what do you believe? Like, there's a difference between love for family and then love you have for it's like a regular person, I guess. You want to show love everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
But love for your family is intimate. What are some of, like, the, I don't know, how would you show love towards your family?
Okay. Well, I think, like, love towards family is when you don't like them, you still do things that benefit them, right? That are for their good.
Yeah.
When you're like, frickin' Tony ate my little Tony's pizza. Weird. That's just the same name. That's super weird, but that's what he did. Oh, Tony's such a jerk, but I'm still gonna go pick up his soccer cleats that he left at his friend's house because I know he needs them for his game in an hour.
So it's a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice. Oh, love is always a choice. Absolutely. Your family you're, like, more committed to because you don't necessarily always get to choose them. Sometimes you do with the friends and whatnot. But yeah, even when you don't like them, you do things that benefit them, and vice versa, and they do that for you as well. And, like, so loving, like, a stranger. Dude, I've seen you do this so many times. You are so stinking good at this. You're a great example of this. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
And just outgoing. And it goes into community and a few different topics too. But Whenever we're hanging out at a place, anywhere, it could be Jewel Box Cafe, it could be house party, it could be walking on the street. You always have this big smile on your face when you see somebody and you're like, "What's up, dude?" And you walk up and you're just like, "What's up? I'm Quab. What's your name?" Blah.
Oh my god!
And you're so good at it because it's initiation, right? And so many people don't get initiated like that, and that's why like there's more kind of like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna be unseen. I'm gonna walk away.
What do you think are people's reservations behind doing stuff like that? I mean, I guess people don't want to get hurt, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. I mean,
Well, I think everybody has strengths and weaknesses. I think that's definitely being outgoing is one of your strengths, absolutely. So I think everybody's geared with the gifts and talents and tools that they're given, and everybody's different. There's no other Quabana. There's no other Kevin.
no other Joe.
Oh, what? Did you hear that? No other Joe. Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
That was stupid. Let's cut that. Anyways, or not. Whatever.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think sometimes people just get really, really shy, and that's just not their strong suit. But when you break the seal and you're like, "Hey, man, I'm Quab," and use your strength, like that invites them to be like, "Oh, hey, like I'm John," like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And that's they're good. Now we're into like community and friendship, which is awesome and super important. But all that to say, Kwabi is a really great friend and really good at initiating.
Wow.
So if you see him on the street,
oh my goodness,
give him a little pound. Yeah.
Joe is the king of shout-outs, so I'm going to have to cut him off here and get back on track. So you expressed before, and I've known this about you for a couple of years, passion, your family is your passion, right?
Yeah. Family is my passion.
Family is your passion.
Yeah.
When did you figure that out, and what does that entail?
Oh, man. I don't know the exact, date, I don't have it written down, but I think it's somewhere between family's always been important to me, and I think that's part of how I grew up too, because like I said, I kind of had a hodgepodge mix, which isn't a bad thing, but I think I really knew that family was my passion between 16 and 18,
okay,
which is kind of the years of kind of figuring out who you are and your identity and stuff.
That's true.
And sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later or longer. What was the second part?
What does that entail? So
well, it entails for a long time. It entailed I mainly focused on me being a husband and a father,
okay,
and having a wife and my kids one day. Which I'm still a single bachelor. Wow. So that was dumb. Anyways, so that's where I put a lot of emphasis. Oh man, I can't wait to have kids and to be able to teach them do this and do that or whatever. Well, first get married and have a wife first, and love on her and hang out and whatnot. But now it's more of well, not just now, but it's not only. I haven't only focused on that, but my family that I have now, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, my nephews who are super freaking cute. They're ridiculously cute. Oh, I love those kids so much. They're
really
so great.
Cute. Yeah.
And it's just I live in LA and they're all up here. So there's separation, which sucks because I love these people so much and I don't get to see them often. So being down there, that separation of distance makes me just try to get more involved. And I got my things going on in LA that are always changing and always ridiculous, and their lives are going on up here.
LA's nuts.
But just investing that time to make sure I call my parents and talk to them and see what's new with them and this and that, if there's anything I can do to help or whatever.
Do you think that when you went down to LA, that separation made, how they say the distance makes the heart grow fonder, do you think when you went down there, it was a wake-up call, or you guys were always in good connection? Or
Well, I've bounced around for the majority of my early 20s. Well, I guess I'm not in the early 20s anymore. Majority of my 20s, I bounced around. So I lived in Virginia for a couple years.
Okay.
And I think I stayed there for 14 months without coming home once.
Wow.
And that was to see if I could do it, and I did. But I was I need to get home and see people.
Gotcha.
And that gave me the perspective of absence makes the heart grow fonder. Absolutely. So when I moved back from Virginia, I lived here with Kevin for 5 months, and
I remember that.
That was so dope, dude.
That was cool.
Was great because I got to hang out with you guys all the time.
That was cool.
And I got to go to my sister's house, who's 5 minutes away from here, and just spend all the time with my nephews and hang out with my mom and dad whenever I wanted, and my brother, and it was great. It was great. So yeah, I think since that, and then kind of moving down to LA is okay, yeah, no, I need to make sure that I'm spending time with my family even if it's just on the phone, because that's really all I can do, that or Skype. So it's definitely made the heart grow fonder.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then since you've moved to LA, I'm sure you've made tons of friends. How does that going?
Yeah, man. So that's the importance of community.
Okay.
I knew one person, my friend Emily.
Dang,
Hopefully you're watching this one day, Emily. I knew one person who lived in LA County, and that was my friend Emily. And it was tough, to be honest, because it takes a while to build community, like when you don't know anybody. And I couldn't hang out with Emily every day. Like she's got a job, she's got this stuff, and I'm just like,
yeah, help me, Emily.
But no, it took a little while, and honestly, like that's a lot of prairie dogs.
a lot of praying.
a lot of praying for community and friends, because it sucks when you move to a place and you like really don't know anybody.
Gotcha. And then it's like you try to get into a circle, and then they'll ostracize you. You know, it's going.
Well, what I found is so I moved down to Orange County because that was my in California. I had a friend who was like, "Hey, I know these guys. They have a place. Blah blah blah," and they were cool dudes, but they already had their friends. They didn't need another friend, and I was like. And they were like, yeah, maybe, all right, kind of, okay. No, they were really great. They're all honestly like wonderful dudes. But again, they already had their lives going on and whatnot, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I need to figure out my stuff. I don't have any history. I didn't have any history with them or anything like that.
Okay.
And that was kind of rough, and it took a little while. But I remember praying, and I was like, dude,
yeah,
bro,
dude, God, dude,
dude. I was just like, God, I need a friend. Like, give me a friend. And through like these different avenues, like I met a friend. And he's an awesome dude named Ray, who I like owe a lot. He would never say I owe him anything, but I always I'm like, yeah, dude. No,
he's a humble guy.
Yeah, he's a humble dude. He's an awesome dude. He's an amazing dude. Raymunda. And like he just invited me to so many different things, and I was just like, thank you so much. It's so nice to be like, it's so when you don't know anybody in a city that's foreign to you, and somebody's like, hey, do you want to come grab dinner with me and my friends?
Wow.
It's like, yeah, dude. That's like, oh, I need that, man, because loneliness that's a whole that's a whole
nother podcast.
It is. Oh gosh, it's gonna get deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so it took a while for me to, get like a friend group and whatnot and to meet people. And I've been there. I moved to LA officially last September.
Okay.
So I've been there for a little over, a year.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of really cool, amazing people in that year. And I'm really, really grateful and thankful for all of them, because like when I go to a place and I see somebody I know in LA, a city of like at least 8 million. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But I see somebody I recognize. Like,
yeah, how often does that happen?
As of late, it's been happening more frequently, which is awesome, because it's like, yeah, this makes it feel like home.
Gotcha.
Cool.
You had talked before we started the podcast. You had said that you work towards bringing friend groups together.
Dude, yeah, that's the new thing I'm into.
Huh?
I'm getting into it, bro. It's like the new band. Yeah. So no, yeah, like my passion is family. Within that. I can break it down into several different things. One way I'll break it down right now is community and relationships. Everything I do in my life comes back to relationships, which is like two of the things I believe in most, which is what the Bible teaches, which is love God with everything you got, love your neighbor as yourself. Both of those things require relationships.
Gotcha.
In my whole life, like I've had so many stinking jobs, like different career type jobs and just like one-off whatevers. Every single one I've gotten has been who I know, and a little bit of what I know, but who I know, right?
Yeah.
So when I was working in downtown DC, big boy government job as an IT contractor, I didn't go to school for IT stuff. It was who I knew.
Wow.
Right? When I was on a production line in Seattle, like with bread, like
bread.
That's a weird gig. Like, do they still have people on production lines? Like, yeah, it's really rough. Don't do it. But like that was who I knew, right? When I was a youth leader, that was like who I knew, and because I'm good with people, right?
Gotcha. The power of just getting to know people is just so immense.
Well, and being genuine and sincere about it too. Like if I was to try and do all that stuff with a motive of getting what they were offering or what they had access to, like no.
Yeah, and people with high emotional intelligence, they can figure that out. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just body language alone. You subtext is so much of communication. But I kind of went on a tangent there. So community is super important. Relationships are super important. And the thing to answer your question or to talk more about what you initiated with was just like bringing people together, right?
Yeah.
So within that, community relationships, teamwork, and unity, it all matters. I love it all because I love investing in people I genuinely care about. I'm going to care about you the more I spend time with you, right? Which comes back to like community, friendship, relationships.
Yep. And
So,
that's
like,
why you're on the podcast.
exactly, because I want to see you succeed. And I want to add value to your life, bro. And that's like, that's kind of like the general feel I have. So like I had a birthday party a little while ago, and the whole reason why I like threw a party was to get all of my different friend groups, because I'm also a social butterfly. So to get all of my different friend groups in the same place and become friends with each other and like
That's
each
beautiful.
other and hang out. And it's like community, unity, teamwork. Neat. Ooh. Community, unity, teamwork. No, I don't like how I did teamwork. Remix that. Send it to Mariah Carey.
Man.
But yeah, so it was cool. Like one of my favorite parts of that night was sitting back and watching like all my friends like talk with a bunch of different people that they wouldn't meet otherwise. There's so many people in LA. But that's what I want to do now. Like, so and also like the big part of that was if you met somebody who's new to LA, invite them to my party, because there's going to be a lot of good quality people there.
Wow.
And when you're new to a place and you don't know anybody, you want good quality friends. And it's hard to find, man. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
So I want to foster that and provide a space where people can like be welcome to LA, because it's a rough city. It's a dope, awesome city, but it's not. It's a beast, man. It's a beast.
I can only imagine, man.
Yeah.
That's so peaceful. I mean, I don't know. That's so awesome, man.
Thanks.
I feel like, I mean, if more people did that, people would feel just more at home wherever they're at.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to say, like, I'm not perfect, so I'm not always.
Gotcha.
Like.
No, none of us are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a qualifier. I have to give at least one qualifier.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And talking about that, I mean, I feel like you've kind of elaborated a lot on it, but my question, and I guess maybe after you're talking about it, maybe I'll speak on a little bit, is what does make a good friend? Thinking about like way back in like kindergarten or first grade when I was trying to, make friends, what makes it so you make a friend with somebody and you stay together and you keep on hanging out? Like what's the methodology behind being a good friend?
Yeah, dude. So I'm fortunate enough to be blessed with an amazing friend, Kevin Wolford, who is a producer who is right to my right. Kevin and I have known each other for is 19 years and some change. Is about that.
A 19-year-old.
Yeah,
wow.
man. For 19 years. I'm 28, so that's more than half my life, right?
Jeez.
We met in second grade, and we've been like besties since.
Wow.
Right? Pretty much. So.
Do you guys remember that story? Like, do you remember how you guys met?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that
We were
happen?
taking a long walk on the beach. The sun was setting. And
I see.
we were 7. And no, we were in the neighborhood I used to live in. Well, no, we went to the same elementary school, Christensen Elementary in Parkland, and we'd seen each other there before. And then over the summer, Kevin's older brother Wesley was a friend of my neighbor's. He's a friend of mine too. Jonathan and Kevin and Wesley went over to Jonathan's house, and I saw him in the summer, and I was like, I recognize that guy from school. And then the first day of third grade, we sat by each other because we didn't know anybody, and we were in the same class, and boom, and that was the start of a beautiful friendship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Kevin, his family, he's part of my family. That's how it goes. So to get back to your initial question, being a good friend just requires like caring. There's a baseline right there. Like, do you care about the person? Right? Like, and there are different ways you go about getting to a point where you care about somebody. But caring about somebody is a really the baseline value of like being a good friend. And then with that comes listening. Wow. Listening is not always easy.
It's not.
But listening is a really good thing, and not waiting to speak. There's a difference between listening and waiting to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Because listening is not waiting to say what you want to say, right? It's like, all right, and just understand, sympathize, empathize if you can with what's being talked about, and then respond if it requires a response, or give them a hug, or pound it, whatever.
Yeah.
So caring and listening is a big thing. And then also, having things in common helps, right?
Yeah,
That's kind
it
of how
does.
we pick our friends. Like, oh, you like playing kickball? I like
Yeah.
playing kickball.
You like Pokemon?
Let's go get you. You like the Pokemon? I like the Pokemon. Hey, Pokemon.
Oh man.
But yeah, so having common ground, obviously that's going to be a reason for choosing a certain friend. But just like caring and listening are big things, and being intentional. I've had amazing deep conversations. I had one 15 hours ago with Kevin
Wow.
until 5 a.m. about like life and
That's
things
my
that are
favorite
happening in my
things.
life.
One of my favorite things with friends is just getting together and just having those long night like talks.
Yeah.
And just having really good conversation.
And you never plan it, and it just happens because of where you're at in your like relationship with each
Yep.
other. It's just like boom. I know I can. Anytime I go to Kevin for anything, I know I'm gonna get an opinion from somebody who deeply cares about me and wants to see me succeed in the best, and vice versa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spot on, man.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really good.
Thanks,
let me see
man.
What else I have here.
I stole it from Shia LaBeouf.
Wow. So you explained that family's your passion. In the family dynamic, husband, wife, kids, how do you see yourself as a father, or even let's stop there. Let's go before that. A husband. What are some of the values that a good husband do you feel portrays?
Okay. Well, I'm not a husband yet.
Gotcha.
One day, aspiring. So I think that would be. Well, let me break down family. The way I think about it in certain ways. So it's men, women, children. Boom. That's my my like picture of family, right? For me, and I want to see like the men be like the leader, right?
Yeah.
Of the household, right? The head of the household, so to speak. And I want to see the woman, the wife, be loved by the husband and cared for and protected by.
Gotcha.
And
Protected.
Yeah.
You were talking about this. I think it was like a year ago. We were talking, and you said that the father, or the man of the house, should, by any means, protect the family.
Absolutely.
That resonated with me. I was like, dang,
Absolutely. That's one.
awesome.
Yeah. If you want to have a family and you don't want to protect them, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's not it's not part of it. Yeah. So it's the husband, the wife, and then the kids. I want to make sure that the kids know that they are loved and they're safe, and that they are safe. Excuse me, and that they can learn and grow in a healthy, safe environment. And so that's kind of like the picture I have, and that's what I want to see, and that's what I want to be able to contribute to my friends that are gonna get married, or like to other people who aspire to be a husband and father one day, to have their own family.
Being that if and when you have a family, and if you have children, what are some of the values you'd want to instill in them?
They're gonna do 30 sit-ups a day.
Okay.
No matter what. They're gonna lift at least 50 pounds.
What about cars? Are they gonna lift cars as well?
Well, they're gonna be able to work on the cars first, and then they're gonna have to lift them after they put like V8s in them, right? So they gotta be. Wait, did I say V8? Yeah, that works. Okay. I just my mind went to V8 Splash.
Me too, dude. I was like, I knew what you were talking about, but I was like, oh my god, it's a horrible
Splash.
drink. It tastes horrible.
It's the worst thing.
Yeah.
No, but dude, so kids learn by example. They are sponges. A lot of people have heard that term, right? And I love teaching by example.
Okay.
Again, qualifier. I'm not a perfect man.
Yeah.
I will make mistakes. I have, and I will continue to. Qualifier.
And everyone does.
Yeah. But teaching by example is great. And so kids like watch what you do. They watch what you say. They watch how you love on your friends and you talk about these things. And even if they can't understand it, they see that relationship and they can recognize care.
Yeah.
And they understand that. Like the kids are pretty intelligent. I learn a lot from my nephews when I'm around them all the time. Like I get blown away by what they know. It's ridiculous. Plus they're so stinking cute.
I've seen them. They are super cute.
But yeah, so like being nice, right? Like discipline is a good thing too, because that's what teaches your kid to be like a good human being, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, don't smack that person.
There's consequences.
Would you want to be smacked?
Yeah.
You know, like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so discipline's a good thing. Definitely. I think we can all agree to that as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it just goes back to like a very simple one would be teaching them to be nice.
Gotcha.
Right?
That's core.
There'll be times where you have to like literally say, go apologize to that person for smacking them, or just from examples of you being nice and you know,
Gotcha.
loving your kids.
Yeah, and I've seen like, I don't know, I've seen movies where like a kid is watching his mom and dad like yelling and stuff, and they're picking up on that, and maybe they'll internalize that and start bullying.
Yeah.
Even though the parents are telling them not to do the things that they're doing.
Right.
So, you know, leading by example is very crucial, I feel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And many different things too. Like your work life, you know, stuff, and just in your life. An example, and that's why I brought you up. Like when you meet somebody new, even if we're only in a place for like 2 minutes, like, what's up, man? Like, you're so great at that. Yeah, just leaning into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Joe, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been great. I'm actually going to stand up and give you a hug. Yeah, I'm going to give you a hug.
Yeah, I'm a hugger, dude, so that works. I love hugs.
Dang,
it's my favorite.
I'm going to go across this way.
With arms wide open.
Love you too, man. Yeah. You guys watching at home, thank you for watching the Real Peace Podcast. If you want to subscribe or comment, please do. All your comments help to make the show even better. So I hope you tune in next time. And I'm Kwabi signing off for the Real Peace Podcast. Hope you have a good day.